Hello, Whatnuts, Humpty Dump Nuts, and we want the Cup Nuts. It is Monday, June 24th in the United States of America, also June 24th in Canada. This is a non-live, this is a banked, taped, whatever, just barely not live, because it's like minutes before. It's live-ish. You could hear we're at Amerant Bank Arena, episode of What Chaos, presented by Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. I'm DJ Bean. That's Peter Blackburn. Over there is Sean DePaz. Sean doesn't have a mic today, so I am very despondent, but Pete does. Pete, how are you?
I'm great. Those sweet, sweet, natural sounds you hear in the background are the beautiful boys getting ready for Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Maybe the best and most important game we've ever seen in our lives.
It is the Edmonton Oilers preparing for is this a must-win Game 7, I would say? Yes.
Some are saying, yeah.
This is the first episode we have ever done where what? What?
Where?
In which the cup is in the building.
Yes.
Perhaps. I don't know when the Stanley Cup got here.
It's not the first episode we've done in which the cup is in the building.
That's
it
true.
is the first episode that we've done in which we've both been in the building with the cup.
Oh, that's true. I kind of did one. Oh, yeah. I don't know if the
Game
cup would
4.
have been there. Yeah, but I don't know if the cup would have. Well,
it would have
didn't
been.
do like a real episode then, though. I thought you were talking about the episode in the days off. Maybe they were getting the cup warmed up. But the Stanley Cup will be in the building tonight here at Amerant Bank Arena when the Oilers take on the Panthers for Game 7. They've stormed back. You know the story. Panthers had that 3-0 series lead. Oilers have kind of smoked them since. And I'll tell you, Pete, the vibes here, I'm not talking about just in this building. The media people we've talked to, Fort Lauderdale itself, it is all Oilers all the time down here, and that, as an Oil man, makes me very, very nervous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and even the people that were previously kind of rooting for the Panthers because they wanted to go home are now rooting for the Oilers because, hey, you assholes dragged us back here. You may as well finish the job, complete the comeback, finish the storyline. It does feel like everybody's kind of in the Oilers' corner outside of Panthers fans right now. We were at the Elbow Room last night. You may have heard of it. Matthew Tkachuk kind of likes going there. We were at the Elbow Room, and there was just like, let's go Oilers chants breaking out every 5 minutes.
I saw one Panthers jersey, legitimately, and I saw like 8 different types of Zach Hyman jersey. There were so many Oilers jerseys. I saw a Stu Skinner jersey. I saw the Hebrew Zach Hyman jersey. I saw a reverse retro Zach Hyman jersey. A million McDavids. Not a ton of Draisaitl representation. Should we say it? A relative of Darnell Nurse was in the building.
A former NFL quarterback.
And I gotta say, very respectful. I didn't see anybody clearly there was a buzz that Donovan McNabb was in the building, but nobody was bugging him for pictures. He was just like sitting down with his family.
He was holding his liquor pretty well too. I didn't see him puke. I have seen him puke in a Super Bowl.
I wasn't paying attention to what he was taking in, but famously big games. Maybe they'll bring him into this game late. But
are the Oilers screwed?
Why?
Because Donovan McNabb's in the building for a
That's
big
true.
game.
There was like a thing or a bunch of something was leaking from a building, and Sean pointed out that that technically could count as drainage. So the vibes are on the Oilers' side. But in all seriousness, everybody thinks the Oilers are going to win tonight. I am flipping a freaking coin. Yes, I'm optimistic. Yes, I have seen how badly the Oilers have outplayed the Panthers, but I'm also a fan of this team, so I don't have this like, oh, it's automatically happening thing that everybody else is having. I could see either team winning tonight. I have not lost as much respect for the Panthers over the course of the series as everybody else has. Yes, they have looked extremely despondent at points over the last few games. The camera shots from ESPN after Oilers goals are like, it's
Sad
like
porn.
they're hiring crisis actors to act extra sad and extra rattled
It's-
because they've looked way more rattled than I thought they would be. But I do not think that they are hopeless tonight. The Panthers can win tonight, so I'm scared.
Ranking sad people that we've seen ESPN show during these playoffs. Number one, Panthers players, and number two, that crying Carolina Hurricanes kid. The Panthers players sadder at this point. We've heard some pretty incredible stories about like people and Oilers fans and what they've done to get here to Florida for this game. This place is going to be probably a lot more Oilers fans than people expect.
Yeah, I don't know what the capacity is here. It's like safe to say in a building like this, you clock it at somewhere around 15K. It's not going to be like a third Oilers fans, but it's going to be like a real fraction. It's going to be very well represented. And even, who knows, I mean, even maybe a bunch of people came down here to not go to the game, which would be weird, because one of the questions I want to ask was, like, what is the scene going to be after this game, really, if either team wins? Because this is not like Rogers Place where you just spill out outside and then like you're downtown, you go to bars and everything. This is sort of in its own isolated kind of thing off the highway.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see much of the Cup unless, I mean, if the Panthers win, maybe they go to Elbow Room or something. Maybe this is going to be too crowded though. Like I don't know if you're going to see the Cup out in like the wilds.
Yeah, this is an area in which you can kind of do things in anonymity. I don't think you would need to block out, and so the Elbow Room is on the beach, it's on the water there. You would need to rent out every bar there and not let anybody go near there, because I mean, if people find out that like Biz might be at the Elbow Room, the thing is overflowing, and shout out Biz, like if Panthers fans know that the Cup is going to be there, it would be crazy. Although I say, like, I do not market shame. That's one of Pete's rules. Panthers have very passionate fans. Where we were last night, we just didn't see them. It was so dominated by
There also
Oilers
could be
fans.
like the Elbow Room could be a place that like a lot of Florida locals don't really go to. And,
Yeah, true.
And it could just be like a touristy thing that everybody loves, and they avoid those places. Who knows? I don't know. You're right though that like the energy and obviously the momentum, but it just seems like the rooting interest right now is in behind the Oilers and them finishing off this like incredible story. And we've talked a lot about like, could this be like the biggest or most important game in the history of the Stanley Cup Final or the history of the playoffs? Like, there's so much on the line here, both from like legacy standpoint, from just a series that you will remember forever
nationally.
Yeah, like like documentaries will be made beyond just the Amazon one. Like, stories will come out of this if the Oilers finish it off like for years and years and years down the road. It's crazy.
Yeah, famously, you chunked this series bad, but what do you think happens
I chunked
tonight?
it bad?
Yeah.
Why? Because
After
I
game
said that
3.
it was over?
Yeah. I believe I said it's probably over, because I was
We
like, I'm
all
not
did.
getting caught with my you-know-what. But, I mean, after game 4, I was like, oh, like the Oilers probably win this series now. Like, it's crazy how much momentum changed. But what do you think happens tonight?
I don't know. I mean, like, anything can happen in a one-game sample, but I've been the last 3 games I've said Panthers are going to finish it off. Panthers are going to finish it off. I'm switching my stance because I just think that the Oilers have too much momentum in their corner right now. Maybe I shouldn't switch it for the sake of jinxing, but I just think they got too many good vibes. They got too much momentum, and like I said, you saw the Panthers start to look shook last game, and it's going to be hard to get that out of their brains, and unless they get off to a quick start here, I just think this is the Oilers season. It's their season, man.
Craziest thing in the world to say on November, like after 13 games, November 12th, whenever it was. Like,
I know,
hey,
but
this is the Oilers season. I will say though, in defense of anybody who thought it was done after 3 games, sure, it was not done, but a common refrain was you're not beating the Panthers 4 games in a row. And even when it was 2-0, people were saying you're not beating the Panthers 4 games out of 5 or whatever. So like those things still could hold up, and that's what.
But they've been so much better. Like the Oilers have been so much better.
That's the biggest thing. Like if either team were to steal this series, I swear to God, it would be the Panthers. If the Panthers won tonight, they would be the ones stealing the series. Obviously, you can't steal a series if you lose it. But like the bigger, holy smokes, that team really stole this series. To the eye test would honestly be the Panthers winning. Not if the Oilers win. Yeah, they made history and everything, but like, did they steal the series when they outplayed them? Presuming they win tonight, where you could make the argument that they outplayed them in 6 of the 7 games. Is that really stealing a series? You sure about that? Oilers have been the better team this series. Even if you and I don't love their Game 3 as much as a lot of other people do, they have been the better team. And as the series has gone on, they have done shit that has just been the exact opposite of what the Panthers have experienced. The Panthers have been the ones that have been feisty and physical and all that shit. And yeah, they've still been feisty because they've gone after McDavid and Tkachuk has had his shit going on. But like winning battles has just been, with the exception of the occasional play behind the net with a Cody Ceci, no offense, has been the Oilers. The Oilers have been the ones out-muscling the Panthers, getting to pucks, which that was not part of the formula of this series at all. It was going to be the Panthers are going to be aggressive, and the Oilers will take advantage of that by getting pucks around them, and then they'll fly out and they'll blow the zone, etc. This is more just like, hey, if they're trying to get out of the zone, I'm not going to do X's and O's talk, but like if they're trying to get out of the zone, just flip it high, and if the puck's along the boards, just out-muscle the guy and get it out. And the Oilers,
been a lot of speed.
Increasingly, what's that?
It's been a lot of speed.
It's been speed, but like I'm saying, like in those battles, the Oilers are winning them, like like puck battles along the boards, and that is not what is supposed to happen. The Panthers are supposed to be the ones that are being a little more physical, and it's been the Oilers, and their goaltending has been better. We know that. We've talked about that a million times, but all the hallmarks that should make the Panthers the winning team have not been there, which further scares me as an Oil man because there is a lot they can change and a lot they can correct. But then when they came out Game 6 the way they did, maybe they were just so intimidated by that building. Like that would have been the time that you would have made those corrections, and that would have been the time that you came out and you started strong. The fact they still haven't done it, again, means they still could do it. There's still room for improvement there, but I don't know how many times do they need to have a letdown performance before you're like, they're toast. They're tired.
And you're coming off a Game 6 in which the Oilers, for the first time ever, won a game in which Connor McDavid had 0 shots and 0 points. So you think Connor McDavid's going to be quiet 2 games in a row? I would be shocked. Heading into a Game 7, if we don't see like a loud Connor McDavid game, I'll be surprised. And the Panthers are going to have to overcome that if they want to win.
Yeah, we said before the series, we were like, maybe the Oilers just win because Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl decide, hey, bad news, folks. We're Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and they do their thing. Draisaitl's obviously been quiet. He's been hurt, we think. Was very good in the first period of Game 6. Set up that Holloway goal to get them on the board. But other depth guys getting better and better. Adam Henrique had a 2-goal game in Game 6. So don't kid yourself. The Oilers are getting increased contributions from guys who haven't really been doing it either. So they can still be better. I don't know if we can always count on them to have that 15 minutes without allowing a shot on goal, and then even then not allowing much of quality, and Stu playing really well behind them. That I think we can, knock on wood. I think that's a little more realistic to expect a good performance from Skinner than to say they're just going to go like 20 minutes and not give up shots on goal. Florida is going to be, ideally for them, they're going to be what they've been in the third periods of the last 2 games, and the Oilers will...
You just can't save it until the third period.
That's the 60-minute effort thing just has not been there at all. We will be there. We will be in the building watching along, and as we are in these 50-nifty United States, we will be trying to 700X, if such is an option, for Game 7 on
up to
Prize
100X,
Picks.
and in Canada, correct.
You can do it in Canada. That was a test to see if Sean knew that you could do it in Canada. Very good, Sean. You passed. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app. It's got more than 5 million members. You know that, and you know 3 of them, Sean DePaz, DJ Bean, and Pete Blackburn. With Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you're locked in. You know that we love our demons and goblins. We've been hammering them. We've done some oops all demons.
Yep.
They haven't hit, but if we do, watch out. I've been playing Prize Picks for a while, and you know the experience has just been incredible. So download the app today and use code WhatChaos for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WhatChaos for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Today's episode also brought to you by our friends at Manscaped. It is officially summer, which is the smooth sack summer, according to Manscaped. So if you're playing in the summer sun, make sure you're groomed from your pubes to your bum. Thanks to our friends at Manscaped, we can make this season your smoothest yet. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate bundle to keep your boys downstairs cool while looking hot. We love Manscaped and their products. They got LED lights, they got wireless charging, they're waterproof. It's all you want in a manscaping tool. So go to manscaped.com and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and you can get this exclusive offer. It's 20% off and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com and use code WhatChaos. That is manscaped.com and use promo code WhatChaos. Summertime in the trimming is easy.
Ooh,
I
didn't remember that tag. That's a good tag.
It's a good tag. We only got like 10 more minutes because I got to do some more other work stuff, but I did want to get into the conversation. What is the best and worst case scenario for an outcome in Game 7?
Oh, right. We've been meaning to do that like 5 shows in a row.
Yeah.
We just haven't been able to do it. I mean, best case scenario for me, I just think it's so vague, but the Oilers winning, Connor McDavid lifting the cup, being the first of the group to do it, handing it off to Leon Draisaitl, or maybe even handing it off to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Do you think
first.
Leon Draisaitl can even lift the cup at this point?
Who knows? He brings out Bob to do it for him.
Oh my God. Best case scenario, Bob's the first one to touch the cup.
Best case scenario, Oilers win the cup. I'm on the ice somehow. If I can get you two there, amazing. But if we get in some sort of that thing you do situation where everyone's rushing into the car and Jimmy's like, you know what? I just got to leave Faye behind. I might be in that position. It's a once-in-a-lifetime situation. I'm known throughout North America for being known in Edmonton, so I would just have to do it. But ideally, Oilers win the cup. All 3 of us are on the ice with them. It's a real fever pitch ending.
Sean, you don't have a microphone, so you're going to have to yell the answer to this. Behavior grade if DJ abandons his boy and goes and hangs out with the Stanley Cup.
A-.
A- for sure. But it is on brand and on theme with being an oil man. You will have abandoned your boys.
That is true. Did I tell you that Sean told me to, I didn't have time to make it, but when I went to Edmonton, Sean said you need to have a sign at the game that's with Pete's face on it that says, I abandoned my boy. I've abandoned my child. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's pretty clear that we're all rooting for the Oilers here, but worst case scenario is definitely a bad Stu Skinner game because the redemption arc for Stu Skinner during these playoffs has been tremendous. We've taken our victory laps. We love Stu. I need him to finish out strong, and so I'll be okay with it if the Panthers win. Like if the Panthers win, I want to see a big like Matthew Tkachuk signature moment. That would be cool. Just kind of something to be able to say that like Matthew Tkachuk stopped this slide in its tracks or something like that. But Oilers, I would fucking love to see Leon do something in this game, something important. I would love to see Leon score a goal.
Getting
just
chills.
Knowing what he's been battling through and how good he can be when like at 50% and knowing what he must be percentage-wise to be this quiet. I really would like to see him like fully break through. I would obviously love to see Connor add to his legacy and have kind of a statement game and a signature game as well. But man, like a Stu shutout would really hit too.
So there's so many players, and I'll be as fair as I can be and name guys on both sides that could really, really, really become legends tonight. Obviously, Stu Skinner. Obviously, Sergei Bobrovsky. Guys given, he's allowed what? What's my math? 14 goals since the third period of Game 3.
Jeez.
They've gotten to him. We know that. Don't want to be mean to the guy. He's had a great career. Hasn't won a cup. I think Tkachuk more than Bob though can do can prove that none of this mattered.
Well,
like if
yeah.
Tkachuk goes off and has then it's like, well, that's a clutch player.
And Tkachuk is like the guy that everybody looks at as he changed this team.
Right.
Even if that's fair or unfair, he is the big blockbuster move that changed the DNA of this team. So if he has the statement game and he makes the big impact here to actually win the cup and prevent the biggest choke in NHL history, like that's a Matthew Tkachuk legacy thing.
Right. Bob, I think even if he does, let's say he has a shutout, I feel like thank God, I say all the time, thank God Fox Sports 1 doesn't talk hockey. It would be like they would do like a every dog has his day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where certain quarterbacks have won, you prove you can win with them. But like Stu's been so good for so long now that if he wins, like there's not going to be fluke talk with him. They're going to be like, this guy's a legend. Leon, I think it's a great one. Put at the top of the list. McDavid taking over would just be incredible for dorks like us and Sean who are like want to just see the best be as amazing as they can be. If Connor McDavid takes over tonight, that would be fantastic.
I would love an overtime game. We haven't gotten an overtime game. This is an all-time series. If you're going to talk about an all-time series, I think you need at least one overtime game. Having it in Game 7 with us in the building, hearing that pop either way would be fucking incredible. It would be all-time. And then my last wish, Cody Ceci goal, Mr. Game 7.
I was doing a lot of Cody
Game
Ceci
7.
talk last night at the Elbow Room. In fact, one of our friends remembered. He said, "Oh, thank you for reminding me. I've been meaning to place a DFS on Cody Ceci for Game 7. That'd be terrific." I mean, also, like, Cody Ceci, Darnell Nurse, like, anybody who's been maligned, and, like, they all clearly like each other so much, and they all love Darnell Nurse so much that McDavid's biggest quote of the postseason, of course, is going to drag him back to Alberta. But for some reason, to everybody, his second biggest quote is, "I'll take that one."
Yeah,
remember?
True. Yeah.
And being like, "Hey, look, that's my guy. You
Yeah.
want to talk about him? You're talking about me. You don't mess with our fella." So really, I'm nervous. Obviously, I'm a bundle of nerves. I'm an Oil man. I want to see the Oilers win. To be able to see the Oilers win the cup in person would be a dream come true. That we've gotten to see the Oilers play a few times live this season anyway has been amazing, because there's just nothing like watching Connor McDavid in Edmonton. There was nothing like watching that team win, and to see them win the cup would be incredible. If the Panthers win,
we'll get a home crowd. We'll get a home crowd victory, so that's kind of cool.
A scene or whatever. I will say, I have seen the Stanley Cup won 3 times in person.
It's always been a road team.
2011 Bruins at Vancouver, 2013 Blackhawks at Boston, 2019 Blues somehow at Boston.
Yeah,
so it's always been the road team.
I've seen it won twice. Both times have been on the road. So we are combined 5 for 5 there. All right, so we know that this is a shorter episode, is a bit more of a disjointed episode, but
it's because
chaotic.
We're doing things throughout the day, so make sure you are subscribed everywhere you can be. This was just our Game 7 is tonight kind of episode. We couldn't do it live for reasons beyond our control, but the YouTube has a lot of new, fresh content that we've been hammering. A video basically explaining how we got here. That was a lot of fun. We shot that right outside the arena. We've got some original content pieces that will be up very soon that will be a lot of fun. So make sure you're following us on YouTube and also all of our socials, because there's in particular one reel that we think is really going to hit. But we will talk to you soon.
Tomorrow's
Well, you'll hear from us well before then.
Right, but tomorrow's episode will be like the big one. We've talked about this game and this series quite a bit. It'll be nice to be able to talk about who fucking wins this series, who is the Stanley Cup champion, what happened, how it went down,
what happened,
how it went down, and what it was like to be here. So it's very cool to be able to finish off the season here inside the building. We're looking forward to talking to you tomorrow for sure.
All right, bye-bye.
Love ya.
We all silly like the mayor.